My husband is reluctant to be intimate with me after I was in a major accident. I, 30 female, have been married to my husband, 45 male, for 5 years and together for 8. Obviously we have an age gap in our relationship, and whenever we discussed possible health issues or medical care, it was regarding him. About 4 months ago, I was in a car accident. I was talking on Bluetooth to my husband because I was nervous driving on the icy roads going to our house, when another car rounded a corner too fast and lost control. It was one of those exact wrong moment things, and my car went off the road and into a tree. My husband heard the whole thing, and my last memory before I lost consciousness was him screaming my name. I don't want to get into the bloody details, but I ended up being in the hospital for over a month. I needed multiple surgeries and have been in physical therapy ever since. I am finally getting to a point where I feel like myself again and am no longer in pain. I've gained back some weight and look good if I do say so myself. My husband literally worked out of my hospital room for the entire time I was there. He went home to shower, sleep and look after the dogs, then came right back. He attended all my therapy appointments so he would know how to better help me recover at home. He was amazing and everything I could ask him to be in that kind of horrible situation. I love him so much, and so yesterday while shopping, I saw this gorgeous black lingerie set and decided to surprise him. We haven't had sex since before the accident, and every time I try, it feels like he makes an excuse or expresses some concern about some random body part of mine that is no longer injured. He was on his laptop in bed when I came in wearing my new purchases, and I could tell he was taken by surprise. I basically crawled into his lap and started kissing his neck and grinding on him. He was definitely hard, but then he lost it and pushed me away, saying that we shouldn't rush this and he doesn't want to jeopardize my recovery with sex. I was crying by the time he ended the sentence and said, "I'm fine. The doctors say sex is fine." But he was already walking into the bathroom and turning on the shower. I don't know what to think. Is it the scars? Is the memory of me in a hospital bed unable to even sit up by myself repelling him? I finally am starting to feel good about myself and my body again, and the fact that he won't touch me is really hurting my mental health. It's probably a long shot, but has anyone else experienced this? Too long did not read. I was in a major car accident and I'm finally back to myself, but my husband doesn't want to have sex with me. Your husband literally worked out of your hospital room and only went home to shower and keep the dogs alive. Your husband loves you and this is crystal clear. Like someone else has said, I don't think it's him feeling unattracted to you, or scars, etc. I think he is seeing your body now as a very fragile thing that he almost lost. He could very well possibly be traumatized from hearing the car accident in the phone call and seeing you in a hospital bed for weeks. I don't often suggest couples therapy, but I think it would behoove him to help work this out with you in a setting like that. You're very precious to him, and while it isn't rational thinking, he could be terrified of damaging you in some way. I don't think he doesn't find you attractive anymore. I don't think it's the scars. I think he's just shook to the core by the whole thing and scared of hurting you. Talk to him about it. Tell him you'd understand if the trauma of the accident makes it hard for him to get in the mood. I'd just give him a bit of time to recenter. Tell him it might help him to talk to a therapist. He may have post-traumatic stress disorder. It's treatable. He may be reluctant to talk in detail about his feelings with you for fear of hurting you. He may have experienced a degree of horror that his mind could not bear and so pushed the memories down. So now when anything comes close to stimulating or triggering that memory, he shuts down to avoid re-experiencing the horror. Suggest he speak to a trauma-informed counselor. Also be patient, PTSD takes time. Maybe he was thrown off by you coming in so quick and he didn't know how or if he should have sex. Maybe talk with him and ask him if he's like to try again at a certain time so he's aware that you're planning on his reciprocal involvement. Take it slow. Sounds like he's scared. I would maybe suggest therapy. My wife and son were hit by a car while we were on bikes right in front of me. I was in caretaker mode for weeks, and even when she went out of the way and got the doctor's permission, I still couldn't engage happily until the majority of the bruising was gone and she hadn't been having concussion symptoms for a couple weeks. The bruising wasn't a turn-off, per se. It was just a reminder that things could have been much, much worse right in front of my eyes, and the wrong move could cause unintended pain. Pretend you're a teenager again and slowly progress until you get what you want. Talk about it frequently in fun terms, and failing all that, the all-too-famous, get thee to therapy option. He might have PTSD from the whole experience. Especially hearing what had happened over the phone. He might just need some time to process what happened. Talk to him about it in a safe non-judgmental way and try to figure it out. He might need therapy. Maybe you do too. Sounds like he's traumatized by the accident.